So today I had a really interesting realization of something that I've been doing here in Ghana. And it was a bit of a, I think it was hilarious, but it also kind of speaks to a bit of culture shock that I've been having. So today I was meeting up with a friend to have lunch, and I walked into the restaurant and I looked around to see if I could find her. And I was looking very intently at people's faces. Like I was really taking the time to look at each table and see if the person that I was looking for was there. And I realized she wasn't there. And we were texting, and she said she hadn't arrived yet. So I went and I sat at a table. A similar thing happened last week where I was meeting up with another friend for lunch. Walked into the establishment, scanned the room, saw someone who I thought was my friend, and started walking in her direction. Then my friend called me, realized that I was walking in the opposite direction from where she was sitting. And she was like, "Nope, that's not me. I'm over here." And I realized today, oh my goodness, I have been looking for people in Ghana the way I look for people in the US. In the US, whether I'm in New York, LA, wherever I am in the country, generally what I do is I walk into a place and I just scan the room for Black people. And that's how I know where to find whoever I'm looking for, because most of the people I know I hang out with are Black people. But I realized that doesn't work here because everybody's Black. I had that realization today of like, oh, I can't just scan the room. I actually have to look at people's faces and say, okay, where is the person that I am looking for? Because I can't just go to the pocket of Black people because everybody's Black. I thought that was so hilarious. And as I was thinking about it, it brought about a larger thought that I've kind of been pondering for a while. And that is, well, one, I'm going to talk about the culture shock because you don't realize when you don't grow up in a space that is full of people who look like you, in my case, full of Black people, when you have to search for Black people, which in many spaces in the US, you have to search for the Black people. We're there, but sometimes you got to search. Um, you don't realize the impact that that has on you until you go to a place that is predominantly majority Black. Um, in the US, you grow up as a Black person, as a non-white person, you grow up being referred to as minority. From the time you are conceived, you are minority. And you live your life under the umbrella of minority. And things are done uh, special for you because, oh, this is a scholarship for minorities, or this is an opportunity for minorities, or this is a business that a minority started. You live your life under the umbrella of that word, whether you receive it and identify with it or not, because I don't identify with minority. Whether you receive it or identify with it or not, that is the umbrella under which people look at you, people receive you. When people talk about diversity, oh, we have to include minorities and all of these things. And you may not necessarily realize that you are operating under that umbrella until you go to a place where you are not the minority. The beauty of being in Ghana, the beauty of being in other African countries that I've been to, Zambia, Kenya, Tanzania, the beauty of being in these places as a Black person from the US, is that you get to experience what it feels like to not be immediately labeled minority. You get to see people who look like you on all levels in society, from the top all the way to the bottom, from the richest person to the poorest person, from the president all the way down to the day worker. Everyone on every level looks like you. And so there's no sense in your mind that when you do something I'm doing it for my entire race. I'm doing it for my entire culture of people. I'm doing this for all Black people. I'm doing this for all minorities. You're just doing it. You're just living your life. You're doing what you want to do. You're going after the things you want to go after, and you're not thinking about color as a part of the equation. It's not a part of the equation. It simply does not exist as a part of the equation. And that's such a settling, peace bringing realization that when I'm here, I'm not speaking for all Black people, I'm speaking for me. You know, you go into some spaces in the US where you are the only Black person, and all of a sudden you represent all Black people. There's chicken. All of a sudden you represent all Black people, or you represent all women, or you represent all Black women. And there's so much weight to that. There's so much responsibility to be the one representing the entire culture of people, the entire race of people, the entire group of people. There's so much pressure to that. There's so much weight to that. And again, you might not even realize that you're operating with that weight on your shoulders. But very often you do realize. You walk into a space and you realize, okay, I'm the only one here. What that means is that it's very likely that I'm going to be expected to speak for everyone like me. Also, as an actor, you recognize that very likely the space has not been prepared with you in mind. Again, speaking as an actor, I've been on sets where my makeup, the makeup artist is struggling to do my makeup because she doesn't have anything in my color. Or my hair doesn't even get looked at because they don't even know what they're looking at. So they haven't even thought about what they're going to do with it, how they're going to style it. So however I walk in is what it's going to be. They have not thought about you intentionally enough to prepare the space for you. And that's my experience as an actor. And a lot of Black, specifically Black female actors, have had that experience on sets in the US. And so it's so beautiful to be in a space where the space is prepared for you simply because you are the majority. It's so beautiful to, you know, ride down the street in a car and see billboards and see ads, and the women are Black women and the children are Black children and the husbands are Black husbands, and the people advertising look like you, and you know the product is for you. I don't have to go into a makeup store and hope and pray that they have my shade because to not have my shade means they have nothing, you know? And so that's been part of the culture shock that I love, that I've been experiencing is, wow, to know what it feels like to walk into a space and not have to explain your skin, explain your hair. Instead, your skin and your hair and everything about you just is. People know exactly what to do with it. You know, there's no question that people are going to know what to do with it. There's no fear that you're going to have to answer ridiculous questions because the whole space reflects you. That's what it is. The space is a reflection of you. The space is a reflection of me. I can see myself in the space. The space doesn't look at me and say, oh, that's weird, that's curious. Ooh, I don't know what to do with that. The space looks at me and says, welcome, you're here. It's such a beautiful thing. You know, I think about the fact that in the US, we have had one Black president, and quite frankly, that's probably all we're ever going to get. But we have to celebrate that constantly. Oh, we finally got a Black president. And that's not a thing here. All the presidents are Black. All the presidents are Black. But the point that I'm making is it's just the beauty of seeing yourself reflected at all levels, in all ways. There's this phrase that we hear often in the US: representation matters, representation matters. People want to see themselves represented because it helps you know what's possible in your skin or in your situation. Black people want to see Black people on TV. Asian people want to see Asian representation on TV. Native American people want to see Native American represent or indigenous American representation on TV, and so on and so on and so forth. Everyone wants to see themselves, and why not? Why not? When you turn on the television or when you go to the movie and all you see is something that looks nothing like you search for yourself. And I think that's human nature, to search for yourself, something that feels comfortable, something that feels like you know it, like it knows you. It's a natural thing to do that, to search for yourself. And so we have this phrase, representation matters. And everybody, no matter what their situation, no matter their race, their gender, their ethnicity, their religion, whatever it is, people want to see themselves represented. People want to know that their story is important, and people want to know that they are important. And one of the ways that you know that you're important is by seeing yourself represented and spoken about well. And so when you're constantly referred to as minority, again, even if you don't receive it, because I do not, there's nothing minor about me or us. Even when you don't receive it and align with that phrase, when you constantly hear yourself referred to as such, you know that that represents something. You know that you represent something. And so it's important to see yourself. And I'm just enjoying that. I'm enjoying having that experience here. Because again, it is a culture shock for me. I was talking to someone a few days ago, and this is still something that gets me, is when I walk into a cafe. Accra's cafe game is top tier. Top tier. When I walk into a cafe, this happened very specifically about a week or two ago. I walked into a cafe and I looked around and I was slightly shocked for a moment because I realized that there were so many men in the cafe. And I thought to myself, how often in LA or New York do I walk into a cafe and it is occupied predominantly by not just men, but Black men? Because you can see white men, you can see men, but specifically Black men. I had to pause for a minute. It arrested me for real, because I was like, I don't know when I've ever seen this in the US. But again, it's a beautiful culture shock to realize that wherever you go, you're going to see yourself. No matter what you're doing, you're going to see yourself. That is such a beautiful, enjoyable recognition. So yeah, when I'm in Ghana, I can't just scan the room for the Black people. But that's also a beautiful thing, because that gives me it gives me an opportunity to really look people in their eyes, to really look at people, not just scan the room. Oh, they're the Black people, I'm going to go over there. No, I'm actually looking at people, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And also a hilarious thing. Ah, I got interrupted, but yeah, that's all I wanted to share today. It's dry for the moment, but that could change soon, so I'm going to go inside. If you don't know me by now, my name is Tryphena Wade. I am an actor, Broadway, TV, and film. I'm a certified master life coach, and I'm a globetrotter. Right now, I'm in Ghana. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on your notifications, okay? Thank you for joining me. I'll talk to you again later. Bye-bye.